You worth $11.5 billion, Michael Rubin. How did you make your money? I'm a pocket watcher, habitual pocket watcher.
Brick by brick, working my ass off.
Yeah, right. Come on, tell me more. Give me the dirt.
You know, selling T-shirts, jerseys, hats, starting the merch business. But honestly, I grew up as an entrepreneur my whole life. I was a horrible student, barely made it out of high school, didn't go to college. Actually, I went for a part of the semester, flunked out. Worst athlete on planet Earth, but I always loved to work. And since I've been a little kid, I've always been working. Since I've been 8 years old, selling things, baseball cards, snow shoveling, and then just started ski shopping when I was 12 years old.
Yeah, is that a dream? Like, you sit around at 12 and be like, I want to be a billionaire one day?
No, not at all. I realized, like, you go to what you're good at, and I was literally good at nothing but working, so I gravitated to what I love to do.
Do billionaires have a group chat? Is it like you, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates?
We want you in the group chat, of course, but, you know.
No.
Listen.
I act my wage.
You act your wage? All right, so you're definitely in the group chat, for sure. You're in a spine, you're going to be there. No, listen, I love hanging with all types of people. I learn from everyone around me. I've got so many different types of friends. So there's no group chat with lots of really successful people.
Okay. Well, what are you planning to do with all your money when you transition?
Well,
Warren Buffett always says he's going to give it all away.
Well, first of all, I'm never transitioning. I want to work as hard as I work today until I die.
You're that rich that you don't have to die?
Yeah, why would I die? Like, I want to be like 150 years old and just keep killing it.
Yeah.
Live my best life every day.
Do you think it's fair for Americans to hate billionaires the way that they do?
You know what? I understand why there's that hatred. I think when you're really successful, you have a big responsibility to give back, to make a difference in the world.
Which you do.
And I think if you do it the right way, people appreciate it and you get a lot of love. I don't feel like I get hate for being successful, but I also feel like we do a lot of things to make the world a better place, and that's my responsibility. I owe it to people to do that.
What political party... What political party is better for the economy, Republicans or Democrats?
Listen, I'm not a political person, but what I will tell you is...
I didn't ask you that. I said, what political party is better for your pockets?
Well, I'll tell you, in business, you take no political party because that's the best answer for business. But for business, what would I say is better? I honestly, like, I'm not a cop and I don't think about it. Like, I focus on what I can control, and I can't control politics. And by the way, I don't like politics because I don't like the outcomes of things taking forever and nothing getting done. So politics aren't for me at all.
True. I'm sure they come to you to, like, donate, though. Do you donate to political campaigns?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And you know, I donate to people who I think can make a big difference. I'm generally much more of a Democratic, giver than a Republican. I can't remember the last Republican I've given money to, but I want to give money to people that make a difference.
Gotcha.
By the way, my guy, I'm going to say the guy I started with, and I'm not really into politics, but Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, is my guy. Okay. He's amazing. I hope that guy's president one day because he'd kill it.
A lot of people say Biden should step aside and somebody like Shapiro should step up.
But they got a lot of good candidates, but Josh Shapiro is a guy who I think could be an amazing president, and I've been working with him since he was running the Montgomery County, which is like the township I grew up in.
Wow. You do a lot of work in criminal justice reform as well through the Reform Alliance. Speaking exclusively about criminal justice, which presidential candidate do you think could get the most done? Because you work with both of them.
Well, you need both of them. The truth be told, to get anything done, you need to bring both together. And if there's one thing I've learned, if you only work with the Democrats, only work with the Republicans, you can't get laws passed. So right now in Pennsylvania, we're working to get a very important law passed to change the probation and parole laws, and we're bringing both sides together. So you really can't get laws passed if you don't work with both sides together. It will not work.
Tell the people... some of the things Reform Alliance has done, because y'all have done a lot.
Yeah, so Reform Alliance is focused on changing the very broken probation and parole system. What's crazy to me is that 25% of the people that go to prison, jail each year don't go for committing a crime. They literally have what's called a technical violation, and they go to prison for not committing a crime. So you know the story. Everyone knows the story of Meek Mill, who's, family to, I think, each of us. He popped a wheelie on a motorcycle, and he got sentenced to prison for 2 to 4 years for not committing a crime. So that was the inspiration to starting the Reform Alliance, and we've now changed 17 bills, 11 states, and we've reduced 700,000 people. 700,000 people less today on probation and parole than when we started this less than 5 years ago. And we have amazing founders, Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Robert Kraft, myself, Clara Sy. We have Laura Arnold. We have so many amazing members that have come together. By the way, Republicans, Democrats, just bringing people together to fix the really screwed up and broken criminal justice system.
I love the story you tell about realizing there was two Americas because of the Meek situation.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. If I'm just being completely blunt, up until the time I was probably 5 years ago, I really thought the criminal justice system worked the way it was supposed to. If you would have said to me 5 years ago, what percentage of people that go to prison and jail should actually go, I'd say it's like 99%. Mm-hmm. Today, I'd say that is the most screwed up, broken system I've ever seen in my life. And the amount of people that go to prison and jail for not committing a crime, we learned a story about someone who got married without permission from their probation officer. They went to prison for that.
Yeah.
Meek, if he went to pick up his kid 10 minutes from where he lived without permission from his probation officer, would have gone to prison. And so what we really want to do is just fix this screwed up system. We are making good progress. And by the way, it's hard. We're taking a business approach to, a political problem.
Yeah, the system isn't broken, though. It's designed to work that way.
Yeah, well,
most of those people you're talking about are black and brown. I'm sure.
By the way, I agree with you, but I also say sometimes, things just, inertia kicks in. You just got to go and say, we looked at this and said, we're going to take a business approach. We're not going to, allow this to work the way it's working. And you know what? We've made a lot of progress in less than 5 years.
Absolutely. Y'all doing great work. Let's talk about Fanatics, because you're the CEO of Fanatics, which is a one-stop shop for sports fans, if you don't know. Are you working with college athletes now with the new name and image and likeness rules?
Well, by the way, I was just reminded, last time I saw you, we had a little wager, and you were wearing a Sixers jersey, I think, for a month straight. So I thought you were going to come out in the Allen Iverson Sixers Mitchell Ness jersey today. That's what I expected you to be in. If you're a man of your word and sticking to...
I wore it, though. I wore it for that month.
You did wear it for the month, I think. Yeah. How does it smell after, 20... Did it smell good after 29 days?
I wasn't playing no ball in it, just waking up in the morning wearing it.
Yeah. Yes. So, no, college athletes are a big deal for us. Actually, I just came from Dylan Harper's announcement at the Fanatics headquarters, who came out that he's going to Rutgers today, and it's certainly a huge moment for Dylan. We were proud to host him at Fanatics today. But college athletes drive our business. We own Topps. We have a big trading cards business, and that's really about the best college athletes in the world, now selling college jerseys. So we're super excited about the changes that allow us to work with college players directly.
How do you think college athletes are handling having all that money, man?
I'll tell you, someone said to me a couple days ago, they were thinking about giving a kid who was in 10th grade millions of dollars. And I said, I feel like I'm going to be going to prom soon. We're going to be making a pitch outside of a prom. So it's crazy. It's very hard to get your head around, how young these kids are, but it's such an amazing situation in reality. I mean, these kids, they work so hard. They're so good at what they do. They drive our business. So I'm really happy for them. But we used to talk about 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds, and now we're talking about 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds. I did have a conversation with Drake that we should sign his kid, who I think was 4 or 5 when we first came up, 4 years old when we came up with the idea for it.
Bro, you start early.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we started at 19. Now we're in 10th grade. Soon we're going to be at the kindergarten.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, that kindergarten can ball. We want them at Fanatics.
Talk to me about the Fanatics Athletes Immersion Program.
Yeah, so, look, one thing I feel is we're blessed to do what we do. We're really lucky to work with so many great athletes every day. We work with 3,000 incredible athletes. And so we wanted to come up with a program where we could help athletes, really figure out what they're going to do when they get done playing. So we're now building a program that next year, together with USC, we're going to have 60 professional athletes in all the major sports come and intern at Fanatics, and also and they'll start with this internship program at Fanatics and also at USC to really do all the different parts of Fanatics. They work in Mitchell Ness, they work in our live commerce division, they work in our trading card division, they work in our online sports betting division, in our merchandise business, and just learn all the different things that we do. And we did our first class a few weeks ago, and it was incredible. WNBA players, Major League Baseball players, they had so much fun. It was great for me to feel like we can help them figure out when they get done playing, what are they going to do next.
Is there an uptick in WNBA jerseys now?
Definitely an uptick in WNBA jerseys, and I think a lot more upticks to be had.
All right. Yeah, dope. Now, Michael, you throw what is now an infamous white party in the Hamptons, all right? And it's called a white party.
A small party for a few of my friends.
Party.
Yeah.
And it's called a white party because everybody wears white, not because everybody is white. I just want y'all to know that. Last year.
I think our diversity is pretty good at the
Oh, you have an amazing diversity. We're going to talk about that right now because you gave us this infamous photo. I call you the Notorious H.U.G, okay? Because you like to hug rappers from the back.
Listen,
all right?
I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger. I'm making hugging cool in 2024. That's my goal. I mean, Fanatics, Reform Alliance, it's all about making everyone hug in 2024. But what it comes from, if I'm being honest with you, is I love bringing people together.
Yeah.
And so, like, I've always been a hugger my whole life. And so, you know, that could have been like, you know, a few shots, maybe 10, 20 shots into the evening when there could have been a picture of, you know, me jumping on baby's back. And, you know, at the time I didn't really look at what went on Instagram and how other people could perceive, but I'm a big hugger.
You told me that, you're
and I want bigger hugs from you, too. Like, I didn't feel like I got a really great... When I came here, I felt like I got a medium hug. I didn't get a big hug.
I saw Michael out one night, and I was like, don't even think about it. After I saw
and you know what?
Baby picture.
Had I had 5 drinks, you would have got a giant hug from behind.
You told me that you don't like hugging little baby, though. You say you're skeptical.
No. What I said was, baby's such a brother to me that we were in Vegas a couple weeks ago, and he looked at me. He's like, you know, you can still hug me. He was like, he was messing around with me. But I think I'm serious when I say I don't like when people just want to pick at things and find out what's wrong with things. And to me, the white party is about bringing people from all different cultures, all different backgrounds together to have a 13-hour incredible evening and morning.
13 hours?
13 hours. You got to be built for this, by the way. There's like training camp. I remember having a conversation with a couple people who are some of the best athletes in the world. I said, look, you really got to be built for this. Like, I know you may be a superstar in football or superstar in basketball, but this is a 13-hour endeavor here. So are you sure you can make this?
That sounds like a cocaine binge to me. 13 hours? 13 hours of
no
party?
Cocaine. It did end this year with, I think Kevin Hart and I crawled up the steps together. It was more of a crawl than a walk.
Yeah, I mean, you do seem to make, like, these street rappers and, like, athletes melt. Like, this one picture of you and Embiid, like, look at that. It's so cute.
Listen, it's my guy. It's my guy. I mean, listen.
Why do you think you have this effect on them, you personally?
You know, I think, you know, a lot of rich people, a lot of people that are successful, they're not relatable. They're not normal. And so, like, to me, for someone who barely met out of high school, got a 780 combined on my SATs. That's not for half. That's combined, okay? Got a 1.87 in the one semester I went to college. Like, the only thing I'm succeeding on is, like, common sense and a little bit of relationship skills. And so, you know, but that's what makes me me, which is why you're going to give me a big hug at the end of this.
Oh, my God. All right, Michael. Come on.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Okay? And it wasn't from the back. All right?
Yeah.
No, it's never be a yet. There's no liquor in that cup.